Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
Welcome back to Red Sox Focus. There is plenty to discuss coming out of Boston's series against the Minnesota Twins, and we are going to get into all of it. Alex Cora made a headline-generating lineup decision for the series finale at Target Field, sitting several key contributors ahead of the team's return to Fenway Park. We will break down exactly why he made that call and what it means. We also have an important update on Willson Contreras and his lower back issue that surfaced in Tuesday's loss. And we will close out the show with a full recap of Wednesday's series finale, which provided a number of genuinely encouraging signs for this ball club going forward. Let's get into it. The lineup that Cora rolled out on Wednesday raised eyebrows immediately when it was released. Willson Contreras was out due to the back tightness that forced him from Tuesday night's game. But beyond that, Willson Contreras was also held out of the starting lineup for a planned rest day, and Caleb Durbin, who has been struggling at the plate to start the season, hitting just .127 with 9 strikeouts through his first stretch of games, was also absent. What fans were looking at was a heavily reshuffled group heading into a getaway day, already down 2 games in the series, taking on a Twins team that has been one of the hottest in baseball. The predictable reaction was frustration. The team had just lost back-to-back games. There was a sense among fans that sitting multiple regulars in that context was the wrong call, that you fight through it, that you put your best players out there and compete. That reaction is understandable. Red Sox fans care deeply, and the early portion of this season has already tested everyone's patience. But here is the thing. Cora's explanation was completely reasonable, and the decision ultimately proved correct. Cora addressed the lineup decisions directly before the game, and his comments deserve to be taken seriously rather than dismissed. He acknowledged that Durbin has been struggling and made the call to give Isaiah Kiner-Falefa the start at third. On Willson Contreras, he was direct. The plan was to give Abreu the day off well in advance of Wednesday's game, and he was not going to abandon that plan simply because the team dropped 2 in a row. His message was clear. This is how responsible organizations manage their players through a long season, and reacting to a 2-game slide by throwing your resting players back into the lineup is not the right way to operate. You stick to the program. You protect your people. You do not panic. Wednesday was the first time all season that Abreu had been out of the starting lineup. If you are playing your best players every single day from the jump, building in an occasional rest day is not negligence, it is sound roster management. And it worked. The reshuffled lineup went out and produced 9 runs on 13 hits against Minnesota. Andrew Monasterio, stepping in at first base for Contreras, went 3 for 5 with an RBI double. Kiner-Falefa added 2 hits of his own. Roman Anthony had another productive day at the plate. The Red Sox won 9-5 and salvaged the series at 1 win apiece before heading home. So, to anyone who wanted to criticize Cora for the decision before the ball was thrown, the results spoke for themselves. The longer view on player health and roster management is almost always the right one during a season this long, and Wednesday was a reminder of that. A lot of people in this fan base have complicated feelings about Alex Cora. That is fair. He has made decisions over the years that have invited criticism, and this channel will hold him accountable when accountability is warranted. But on Wednesday, his approach was sound, and giving credit where it is due is part of honest coverage. There will be plenty of moments throughout this season to debate lineup construction, strategic decisions, and in-game management. This was not one of them. Now let's talk about Willson Contreras, because this is the injury news that matters most coming out of this road trip. Contreras exited Tuesday's game in the 5th inning after experiencing lower back tightness while fielding a ground ball at first base. It was an awkward moment. He reached down, felt something, and that was enough for the Red Sox to pull him rather than risk anything further. Andrew Monasterio came in to finish the night, and Contreras was kept out of Wednesday's lineup entirely as a precaution. The initial news on the severity of the injury is encouraging. Cora stated after Wednesday's game that he expects Contreras to benefit from both the day off and the team's scheduled off day on Thursday, and that he anticipates his first baseman will be ready to go when the Red Sox open their homestand against the Detroit Tigers on Friday. Contreras himself addressed the media after the win and said he woke up feeling significantly better. The Red Sox organization is reportedly confident that an injured list stint will not be necessary. That is the best-case scenario, and on paper, it should set up Contreras to return to Fenway healthy. But any honest Red Sox fan knows that this organization has a history of delivering optimistic injury timelines that do not hold up. We have seen it happen too many times. A player is expected back in days, and then days turn into weeks, and weeks turn into longer. Until Contreras is in the lineup card and running out to first base at Fenway for the first pitch of a real game, a healthy level of caution is warranted. The reason the caution is warranted goes beyond sentiment. Contreras has been the best hitter on this team through the first few weeks of the season, and the numbers are not close. He is slashing .2998 for .491 with 3 home runs and 11 RBI in just the early portion of the year. His defense at first base has been a genuine revelation. He is grading out in the 98th percentile defensively, an elite level that nobody was certain he would reach when the Red Sox acquired him. And beyond the statistics, his presence in that clubhouse has become something this team genuinely depends on. Cora has spoken at length about how much Contreras means beyond the numbers. His leadership, his ability to connect with a young roster, his competitive fire in the building every single day. Trevor Story echoed those sentiments as well, noting that Contreras brings a kind of intensity and veteran presence that a youthful group like this one needs to draw from. Story called him a great addition, both to the lineup and to the culture of the club, and on a team with as many young players as the Red Sox have. That kind of veteran glue matters in ways that do not always show up in a box score. Losing Contreras for any meaningful stretch would be damaging in a way that goes beyond simple roster math. First base depth is thin. Monasterio is a capable backup and showed that Wednesday with his 3 hits, but he is not a version of Willson Contreras. Tristan Casas remains sidelined with his own series of physical setbacks. The Red Sox need their first baseman healthy, productive, and in that lineup every day. Friday against the Tigers cannot come soon enough. Now, let's talk about the game itself, because there was a lot to be encouraged by, even in the absence of 2 of the team's most important players. Connolly early was outstanding. The young left-hander has been the steadiest arm in this rotation all season, and Wednesday was his best start yet. He allowed just 1 run on 2 hits, walked 2, and struck out 5 across a career-high 6 innings. He threw 85 pitches, and 52 of them went for strikes. His ERA now sits at a sparkling 2.29 through 4 starts and nearly 20 innings of work. What makes this particularly remarkable is the context. Heading into spring training, Early was not even considered a certainty to make the opening day rotation. He earned his spot, and he has run away with it ever since. Not a single other starter on this team has approached his level of consistency. Every other member of this rotation has turned in at least 1 genuinely bad outing this season, and some of those outings have been difficult to watch. Early has not had one yet. He has just shown up and competed every single time. After coming out of the game on Wednesday, he noted that pitching into the 6th inning for the first time this season felt terrific, and that he set a personal goal to go as deep as possible given how the first 2 games of the series went. He succeeded, and it set the tone for everything that followed. Trevor Story was the offensive story. His 5 RBI on the afternoon marked a significant contribution, anchored by a 3-run home run in the 3rd inning that completely flipped the game on its head. The Red Sox had fallen behind early when Austin Martin took Early deep in the 1st, but Story's blast with 2 runners on in the 3rd turned a 1-0 deficit into a 5-1 lead with 1 swing. He also drove in 2 more with a double later in the game. Story now has his batting average up above the 200 mark, which may invite some eye rolls from parts of the fan base, but the trajectory is the thing to pay attention to. He was at 127 just a week ago. He looks like a completely different hitter right now. The approach is tighter, the swings are more controlled, and the ball is coming off his bat with authority. This channel was not going to give up on Trevor Story in the first 3 weeks of the season, and he is starting to show exactly why. When Story is producing in the middle of this lineup, this is a different offense entirely. Roman Anthony continues to find his footing. He went 2 for 4 on Wednesday, reached base 3 times, and scored twice. That completed a strong series for the young outfielder, who has been working his way through some early season struggles with a calm and focused approach at the plate. He is hitting the ball harder and putting it in gaps more consistently. The confidence level in his body language has visibly shifted. He is not the Roman Anthony of mid-April who was fighting through contact issues. He is starting to look like the player that made him one of the most anticipated prospects in the sport. Ryan Watson finished the 9th inning and made things far messier than they needed to be, giving up 4 runs, including a 3-run home run to Ryan Kreidler with the Red Sox comfortably ahead 9-1. The final score of 9-5 makes the game look considerably closer than it actually was. Watson has been inconsistent in that role, and the Red Sox will need to make decisions about how he factors into late-game situations going forward, but the win was never truly in jeopardy. Boston heads home to Fenway Park at 7 wins and 11 losses. That is not where anyone wanted to be at this point in the season, but this is a franchise that has shown throughout this year that it is capable of producing quality baseball when its lineup is intact and its rotation is right. A 4-game homestand against the Detroit Tigers awaits, and while that series is not without its challenges, the Tigers are a legitimate team. Fenway is a place where this Red Sox lineup historically performs. The return of Willson Contreras on Friday, if it happens as expected, would be a significant boost heading into what could be a statement series. There is still a long way to go. The pitching concerns beyond early are real, the offense has been inconsistent, and the injury news is something this fan base should monitor closely over the coming days. But Wednesday at Target Field was a reminder of what this team can do when it executes. Even missing 2 of its best players, it went out and won a baseball game convincingly. That is the standard this team needs to hold itself to. We will be here covering every step of it. This is Red Sox Focus.
Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.